So, hello everyone. Today I'm going to review my Dragon Stars Super Saiyan Broly. So this is from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie version. So there he is. He looks all jacked and cool. So I'm going to review him today. First things first, here's his box. Let's take a look at that cool box over here. So as you can see, this is his box. Dragon Star Series Super Saiyan Broly Dragon Ball Super version. So he's from the Super version movie, which is a pretty cool movie. And there he is. There's the front of the box. Made by Bandai. And here's the back of the box where you can see the other toys in the line. So you got Gohan, Blue Gogeta. That's the fused Goku and Vegeta fused. And he kicked Broly's ass. And there's Majin Buu, Gotenks, and this one is 18, but you know, she's obscured by this, so pretty nice box over here. This is the star, Broly, and here are the other characters. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, Majin Buu looks pretty cool. But that's the box. There you get to see. Yeah, nice art of Broly here going all rage mode. So there we go. Here is Broly. So I'm going to check out his articulation in a bit. But before I do that, I want to check out, the figure itself, the sculpting. So it's a nice sculpt for me, this Dragon Stars. I like the colors. I like this shade of green. Very lovely. And his hair. Yeah, I'm a sucker for this type of green color. This kind of, it looks metallic-y to me, but it looks very nice. And I like the detailing. Take a look at that. Take a look at all that spiky hair. That's good. I like the detailing. Now we gotta look at his face up close. There's his mean mug. Really muscular guy, No pupils because it's all in rage mode. And then check out the scars. He has the scar in his cheek. Though, if I remember from the cartoon, the scar kind of starts from here and goes midway. This one, it's really in the middle of his cheek, but that's fine. He's got some scars here in his 4-pack. This X scar over here. Another scar over here in his massive shoulders, and more scars over there. His other arm is scar-free. And then let's take a look at his back. When I see his back, I kind of get reminded of a WWE figure. So let's bring one up for comparison. Look at that. Look at those back muscles. Reminds me of, here's my Bill Goldberg figure. Yeah, they got a similar back. Really muscle bound. So let's get to some articulation. So his head can turn around, though it is impeded by these shoulder muscles and his hair, but it can more or less turn around. Turn around, up and down. It's kind of on a ball socket. His waist can also turn around. He's pretty stiff in that area, but yeah, he could do it. He could turn. As for his arm, it is on a ratchet, so his arm can go up. You can hear that ratcheting sounds. There, it's stiff, and it can go all around, of course. His bicep can swivel also. He has a double jointed elbow. Let's get the focus there. Double jointed elbow. But it can only go this much because of his massive muscles. So yeah, those muscles, like a real muscle bound guy, they kind of impede his movement. Now for the lower body articulation. Oh, but before we go to that, I really like this thing he's wearing, this little skirt piece, which is actually the ear of his childhood friend, but I'll get to that a little bit later. But I like the detailing of the skirt piece. Very well detailed. Very nice. So I really like the design of this pelt. It looks really nice. You can really see the detailing of it over there. The texture, has a furry feel to it because, as mentioned, this is the ear of his childhood friend, which I'll be getting to. And oh yeah, by the way, this is his wrist. So it turns all around and goes sort of up and down. So it's on a ball socket and it's replaceable, which I shall be getting to in a bit. Now onwards to his leg. His leg, well, it's kind of on the ball and socket, but he can only spread this much because of the pelt. And he can't really go backward or forward because of the pelt. So though this thing looks really cool and pleasing to the eye, it impedes his movement. But that's fine, I guess. And then This one spins around over here. And he's got a double jointed knee, just like in the arm, but of course the pelt impedes it. And his ankles, they turn around, go sort of up and down, but very limited, just like his wrists. So overall, for his articulation, I'd say he's got all the typical articulation of a Dragon Ball Dragon Stars figure, most of it, except for this guy, it's heavily impeded by his costume and his muscles, because this guy looks like a roided up Saiyan. I mean, look at him. But yeah, his proportions are really wonky, but this guy's one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters, actually, because, you know, he's a legendary Super Saiyan. He's really awesome looking. So that's it for his articulation. The next thing I'm going to show you is the accessories he comes with. His accessories, he only has these two hands. So these two hands, you know, one for the left, one for the right. There is open hands, so you could pose him doing his energy attacks. So those are his hands over there. Pretty nice. He only has two. A lot of these Dragon Star figures usually have a Build-A-Figure part with them. Like I got another figure and I got Kale's head. But in this case, this guy's a big heavy figure and he only comes with these extra hands. So the hands pop out pretty easily, as you can see. Just pull them out, put them in, and now he's got these hands where it's like he can catch fists, or you could pretend he's doing like a massive energy attack, like he's charging up and doing his energy attack. So that's pretty cool over there. So he is around 7.5 inches. So he's a pretty big figure. I mean, most of the other Dragon Star figures are just, you know, 6 inches. So he's like an inch bigger than his peers, and he's a lot wider too, and he's quite heavy, which is pretty nice. So I like this figure overall. I like how muscular he is, and even though his movement is heavily impeded, he looks pretty cool when you display him. And I can also play with him. He has enough movement to put some decent punching poses. So yeah, but he looks pretty awesome. For a sense of scale, this is how Broly compares to other figures in his line. So this is him with Goku. So as mentioned, Goku is around roughly around 6 inches. So yeah, Broly is around 7.5 inches. So you could really see the size disparity, and you can also see the difference in the width. I mean, Broly looks really jacked, like a roided up Saiyan. Anyways, here he goes. I kind of think of Broly as, you know, if the Incredible Hulk and the Saiyan had a kid, out would come this guy. And in the show, he's a lot like the Hulk, wherein he's all rage and all grunting and all, you know, depending on which version you watch. But as mentioned, this is from the Dragon Stars, oh, my mistake, Dragon Ball Super Broly movie version, which is a nice movie. I watched it. It's really awesome. I liked it. So as you can see, you know, the other Dragon Star figures can get the full curve with their double joints, but his muscles impede him. But that's how tall he is. That's how he stacks to a fellow Dragon Stars figure. This is him next to Bill Goldberg, my Mattel Elite Bill Goldberg. So that's their height together. And this is him also with my Toy Biz Incredible Hulk. So yeah, he's pretty bulky is what I'm getting at. So pretty good. As mentioned, the Broly character is one of my favorites, if not my favorite in the Dragon Ball cartoon series. It used to be Piccolo, but I kind of dig this guy more recently. So he's had two movies. There's a 90s version movie, and then there's a 2018 movie where this is based on. So I'll give you a quick rundown on a background around this guy. Yeah. So basically, when Broly was an infant, he had this abnormally high power level, even higher than Prince Vegeta. So, you know, when they were infants, so Prince Vegeta's dad, King Vegeta, well, had him banished because, you know, he was like a freak with abnormally high power. So he had him banished to this very harsh planet as an infant, and his dad, Paragus, kind of looked for him and went to that harsh planet. And the irony is that he's like, there was a legend that there's going to be a really strong Super Saiyan that Frieza was freaked out about. So Frieza blew up the planet Vegeta, not knowing that this guy actually escaped. So, you know, he killed all those Saiyans to get the Super One, and the Super One wasn't on the planet. So, well, he grew up on a harsh planet. And that planet, he was like eating insects, these giant bugs, that he was subsisting on eating them. And then there were these giant long-necked green-furred dog thingies. And this is the ear of that dog that he befriended. Well, his dad didn't really want him getting soft and getting close to them giant dogs, so he shot off the ear of that dog. And this guy now wears that ear as a pelt because, that big creature didn't die, but his attitude changed since his ear got lopped off. So yeah, he kind of wore this to remind himself that, yeah, I once had a friend. So yeah, fast forward, Frieza sort of picks him up, makes him one of his, a resurrected Frieza that is, makes him one of his Frieza Force. And yeah, and they go to Earth, he makes a beeline for Vegeta and Goku, and then he gets really strong, and he pretty much manhandles them. Even though they went through all their forms, their Super Saiyan, their God form, and also even their Super Saiyan Blue form, it was like beating the crap out of them until finally they fused together and went on God form, and Gogeta, they fused as Gogeta, and they nearly murdered him until he was wished back away to his remote planet. And then afterwards, Goku befriended him. That's a rundown of the movie. You should totally watch it, but this is where he is based on. It's more or less the same premise as the first 90s movie, where, except in the 90s movie, he's a lot more psychotic. In that movie. Whereas here, he's a little bit more of a sympathetic character, like an anti-hero. But in that 90s version of him that's not canon, he's sort of really just a psychotic guy. Prepare. You will have the immense honor of being the first to disappear. So this guy always reminded me of like a Hulk-like character, so I liked him. Like, he gets angry, he gets buffed, kind of like this, and then he's all grunts and rage sounds. So that's what I liked about him growing up. And a little bit of tidbit of information: his name Broly, because in the Dragon Ball series, the Saiyans kind of have a name convention. They're like Goku is always wearing orange. His name is Kakarot. That's for carrot. And then Vegeta is the prince, so he's like vegetable. You got in this case, Broly is derived from broccoli, which is one of my favorite vegetables. Believe it or not, I like it. I like it in my soup or as a side dish. And it's pretty cool. Like, one of the healthiest vegetables is named after one of the strongest Saiyans, which is this guy, Broly. I really like the Dragon Ball Super series. I really enjoyed watching it. And one of the stuff I always wanted to imagine was, what if Broly were to fight Jiren? I don't think that happened yet on the show. Yeah, it didn't. But then here's Jiren over here, another strong guy. So it's pretty cool that I have them both, because I could pose them or make them fight each other. And this is how they look together, and they look good. He's a little bit taller than Jiren. Jiren kind of reminds me of, well, he's a gray alien, a really buffed gray alien. But he kind of reminds me of like a Superman, and Broly kind of reminds me of Hulk. So it's kind of like if Superman and Hulk were fighting, except they've got martial arts and energy blasts. But yeah, that's the vibe it gives me. So it's cool, and they look good together as well. I'm glad I have them both. So there. Well, my final thoughts for the figure are, it's a good figure. I like the way it looks. I like the way it's sculpted, and I like the colors, and I like the pelt, believe it or not. But articulation-wise, he's limited due to his muscles and his costume. So he's limited articulation, but overall he looks good. I mean, the articulation's there. It's just that the proportion's limited, which is understandable. But overall, I still like this figure, and I could be biased because maybe because this is my favorite Dragon Ball character. But I like the figure, and it's pretty good for its price. It's budget friendly, in all honesty, and he does look good. And what I remember is when I was kind of deciding which one should I get. Should I get the original 90s version, or should I get this version? Because The original 90s version, I mean, I watched the cartoon of that, and then if you even see the big green dub version, he's hilariously psychotic.
Unless you can counterattack, I'll destroy this entire planet in the blink of an eye. You ready?
I mean, he's pretty funny. He's psychotically funny. He's really like he's a Super Saiyan, legendary Super Saiyan, driven mad by his power. It pretty much fits it in the original. But ultimately, I decided to get this more modern version, kind of like the rebooted version where he's not really all that bad, where he's actually a pretty nice guy. It's just that his dad is using him to enact his revenge, and he's like a victim of circumstances.
Brody, look! It's such a tragedy! Do you hear it? It's your father! He was killed by a stray energy blast!
And the 2018 movie was really cool. The fight scenes are awesome, and this guy is really jacked and really powerful there too. Yeah. So ultimately, I decided to get this version, and overall, nicely detailed, nice representation of Broly, and I like it. Overall, I like the figure, even though he's not as posable as his Dragon Star's brethren. He's still worth it for me. So yeah. That's all I gotta say about Broly. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.